Hello, hello. It's Wednesday, it's 12 noon, and you know I'm here, Deborah Porter with Mom's Mentoring Circle. And you know that we're here to support you as you are creating systems and strategies to organize your home, not just your home, but your lives, to help bring order, to help bring peace, not perfection. But the purpose of that is so you can still then go after all the things that you love and desire to do with life itself. So this is going to be quick today because got on my workout clothes, y'all. I got to go get it in. Got to beat this body and keep it under. So today I'm going to be sharing how to identify your child's currency. Before I dive into that, I just want to here at the top of the segment let you know that we just started our online course, How to effectively manage your home. So it's a complete home management system jumpstart. We did the first module yesterday. We've got 3 more to go. It is not too late to join in. I will include the link for that here so that you can still get in. The video from yesterday's class will remain in that Facebook group as well as all the others for up to 2 weeks after the class, and then they'll all be pulled. So keep that in mind. I will mention it again once we're finished, but it is a complete home management jumpstart system, how to bring order to your home in 4 weeks. It didn't get like that overnight, so it's going to take a little bit to get some systems in place to really see things move in the other direction. The systems and things that we're sharing can be implemented immediately. The moms that were in the group yesterday, by the end of the session, had already mapped out their own plan for those things they were going to take home and implement as soon as we got off of the live. So very practical, very much hands-on, very interactive. You can use these systems immediately. Hey, Valley, how you doing? Valley, I didn't see you when I was visiting last weekend. I would have loved to see you guys. So anyway, we're going to get right in. This is going to be quick. I only have 3 points. I'm going to be here maybe 10 minutes. Hey, Sylvia, how are you? We're talking about how to identify your child's currency. And when we hear the word currency, oftentimes we're thinking about money, because for adults, currency is currency. It's money. With children, currency is not necessarily money. And in most cases, I would say it's not money. So the first thing is, what is currency? When we're talking about children, what is currency? Currency is the thing that the child values, where they place value. Each child will have their own currency. Each stage of their childhood and growing up, their currency may change. But what we're talking about is the thing that they hold valuable. And once that's identified, once you identify what your child's currency is, it can be a game changer for you as a parent, because you can use it for reward as well as consequence or punishment. Many times we will offer out a consequence to our kid and they'll almost shrug their shoulders like it didn't impact, like, okay, all right. And I'm wanting you to think about that, because many times that means you didn't really hit their currency. You didn't get them with the thing that they value, right? If we're sending a kid to their room for punishment, I would dare say nowadays their room is a playground. They've got everything they could ever want in their room. Most of the time they don't even come out of their rooms. So I don't know if that's the appropriate currency when you are trying to change behavior or bring to their attention behavior that they need to change. Okay, so that's the first thing. Currency is the thing that the child holds value in. The second point is, how do I discover what my child's currency is? How do I, as the parent, know? How do I know what that kid's currency is? And here's what I want to encourage you to do. You, as their parent, you really are in the unique position to know the multifacets of your child. You know what they like, what they don't like, what they're afraid of, what they're happy about. You know the things that light up their face and their world, the things that they really could care less about, the things that they gloss over. You are uniquely that person that knows your children in all of those different ways. Take notice of those things, right? Just make it a point to take notice of the things that light them up, that they are super excited about. Because I would say that that is a glimpse into the thing that is their currency. Okay, so the first thing is, what is currency? the thing that our children find value in, how to discover it. You're going to have to be really, really acutely in tune and aware and deliberate about observing each child. It won't take long. They're your kid. I mean, you know everything about them, so it won't take long, but you are going to have to kind of just alert yourself to be aware of that. Your child is, and I don't think kids ever say this, but they really do want and need structure for healthy development. We can overdo it, we can underdo it, but some level of structure really does help. And I love this whole thing about currency. When I first learned about this many, many, many years ago, it really did assist us in being able to reach our children and really affect change in behavior. Okay, so what is currency? How do I determine my child's currency, right? We got to be attentive. The third point, this really is the final point, I only have a couple more things. The third point is, how should I use this information, right? We want to make sure that we're not using it as a way to manipulate the child, although we do want behavior to change. We've got to make sure that we're not lazy with the information because we just don't feel like it. I mean, let's face it, there's a lot going on in all of our families and all of our worlds today, depending on how much or how many children you have, how many curricular activities they have, what your own work schedule or, other involvement might be in your community. But this is something that we really don't get a pass in, right? We've got to find a way to engage and be deliberate. Hey, Valerie, about this area in our kids' lives, because what it does, it almost puts the control for their behavior really back in their court and not in ours. So the first point is, what is currency? It is the thing my child holds value in. 2 is, how do I discover what my child's currency is? You got to be attentive. You got to pay attention. And number 3 is, what do I do with this information now that I have it? How should I use this information? Once I know what currency is, I know what my child's currency is, I know what each of my children's currency is, because each child's going to have a different one, similar to us having different love languages or apology languages and things of that nature. So being able, here's the thing that makes having this information so valuable. Once you know where your child holds value, you can use it for both consequence or punishment and reward. And when the freedom to play a video game, engage in a fun activity, spend time with friends is directly tied to their behavior, it puts them back in control of their behavior. It's less about you really punishing them and them being aware that if I do this, this happens, right? It's about everybody knowing up front. So being able to make these decisions on their own, knowing that they will either reap the benefit of the reward or the consequence of the punishment, and that it all hinges on their own actions, it helps them to learn that actions have consequences, right? Because any kind of consequence or punishment, it has to be a life lesson. It has to be something that is teaching them, that they're learning from, and that they can make a shift in. And it allows for more independence. So if your child knows that certain behaviors will get a certain result, they know that up front, right? I always say that consequences and punishments should not be a surprise to our children, right? None of that should come like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got punished for that. And if there is a surprise, then that means we're not being consistent with it. Because if we're consistent with it, they know it's coming. All right, so knowing your child's currency and where they place and hold value allows you, without yelling, without screaming, without being frustrated, without having to repeat yourself 50 times, it's something clear that everybody understands. So those are the 3 things. What is the currency of my child? How do I discover it? What do I do with that information? The last thing I want to give you today is types of currency. Bye, Sylvia. Thanks for popping in. Types of currency. Because a lot of us would say, oh, my child's currency is money. Maybe your child's currency is money. Maybe it's not. Start paying close attention. For some, it might be toys, might be video games. It might be electronics, whether that's a phone, a tablet, a reader. It might be books. It might be extracurricular activities. It might be movies, their favorite TV show. Could be money. For many kids, especially in the teenage years, it's time with friends and sleepovers, being able to be with their friends, playing with their pets, going shopping. This is just a sampling of what your child's currency might be. Now, if it's curricular activity, extracurricular activities, are you willing to pull that and take that from your child to change behavior? And here's an example. I'm not going to out the kid that it was in my house. I've got to be careful. I'm not going to out the kid, but I'm going to give you the example. We had a child who was participating in extracurricular activities whose grades began to, let's say, suffer. So we talked to the coach. We explained to the coach that in our house, extracurricular activities are underneath grades. Grades are the reason you're in school. You're not in school to play a sport. That's great. That's fun. That adds to the experience. That's not why you're there. We explained to the coach that this child will not be at practice for X amount of days because in our house, this is what matters. And we knew that this particular extracurricular activity was super important to this child. Super important. So once we got the coach on board, because we knew this child was going to go to the coach and say, I need you to talk to my parents. This is what they're doing. Got the coach on board, explained to the child, you know what's important here. You know your grades trump any other particular thing that you're participating in. So once we did that and put it instant, like the next day he woke up. Okay, I said he. The next day that child woke up. Instant change, dedication, and commitment to what was required with the grades. It wasn't that he couldn't do it. It wasn't that it was hard. Just didn't want to. So finding the currency. Now that worked during that season, right? It worked while that extracurricular activity was going on. That child also had other currencies that we were able to use, as well as all of them. So let me just remind you again of the 3 points. What is currency? The thing my child values. How do I discover my child's currency? By being attentive and aware and alert to the things that light them up. What do I do with that information once I have it? You can use it for reward as well as consequence. A way to use it as a reward, okay, for the extracurricular activity, we couldn't really use that much as a reward because it already had its own, defined boundaries, so to speak. But you can use currency when they've done something great to say, you know what, you've earned 2 extra hours of video game time. You're doing amazing. This is great. You've been so kind to your sister. I have seen such a change. You know what? You can go to that sleepover this weekend. I know we said that you weren't going to be allowed to go, but it's been great. Your behavior has been fantastic. I'm loving it. So you get to use it. It's not just to punish, but it absolutely can also be to reward. And again, what that does is it puts all the balls back in their court. It's really up to them. You know it's going to go one way or the other. You're either going to get a reward or a consequence for it. The other thing I want to do, the last point I want to make, I finished my 3 points. The thing I want to clue you into to be a little bit more aware of is be cautious using food as currency. Even if your child loves a sweet snack and that's the way you reward with a sweet snack, just be cautious about that because we don't always know who may be more susceptible to emotional eating or connecting unhealthy snacks with emotional payoff. We're just not sure at that age. So, I love a good chocolate snack. I love a good scoop of ice cream, just like the next person. And, when I was little in my family, that was how my grandmother rewarded us many times, was chocolate chip cookies. And I love chocolate chip cookies to this day. But I want us to just be very cautious as using that as their main currency because we don't know at what point or if that may backfire. Okay, so this is all I've got for you today, guys, but I think this is really valuable and I think it can really be helpful and kind of change the dynamics in a home where kids almost feel floored like they're getting punished for something. Remember, the biggest thing when you're dealing with your children is always consistency. If you say you're going to do something, you got to do it because they will quickly realize she don't even mean it. She ain't even serious. If she ain't serious, I ain't serious. Be consistent. Pulling them from that sport for a week, they're going to feel like their world is coming to an end. And you may feel like that too. But if that's their currency, I'm telling you, you can get some quick results that way. So at the top of the segment, I mentioned that we are just 1 week into our home management system jumpstart, how to get your home in order in 4 weeks. We just finished the first week. You can still join in. It is not too late. We've got 3 more weeks to go. And I will put the link for that here. You know, I am always here to support you. If home management systems isn't the thing that you need, if you feel like, you know what, I've got that down, but you still need some support and some strategies for other areas in your home and in your family and in your life, you know, you can always reach out for a strategy session. And here's the thing, sometimes just bouncing that off of someone else can really help begin to put some things in order for you. So don't hesitate for the strategy session. It's complimentary. It's a $500 value, but it's complimentary. I'm just giving it to you just because I think that being able to talk to someone can really help put things in order and let you know that you're on the right track or where you might need some more support. So that link will be down here also. Have a great day. I'm going to go walking or doing something because it's so nice outside and I have not exercised all week. All right. Love you guys. Have a great Wednesday and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.